Hey guys, and welcome back. So before we get started, I do apologize that I am super late to go over this with you guys, but we did it, trainers. We met the requirements for Earth Day. We had over 14,800 people join for Earth Day cleanups, and that was pretty insane. So now from today until May 2nd, we're going to have the following. So we have more ground types, shiny Diglett, and we have double Stardust, double Catch Candy for those ground types. And more importantly, which we're going to talk about in this video, Groudon can be encountered in raids. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, Giratina is now gone, and Groudon is taking over raids for only till May 2nd. So still, it's always good to prepare, I guess, for... I'm making this video pretty much to help those that are going for their first Groudon. So, this is actually, I believe, the 5th time, I think, that we had Groudon come back to raids. But it's only going to be for 4 days, and then after Groudon is done, we're going to have a brand new tier 5 raid boss taking over for the raids. Most likely, they're going to have it run for a month. So, once Groudon leaves, that is, then we're going to have something else take over. So, only time will tell what we're going to get. So, this video is going to be about Groudon, but before we go into that, just to let you guys know, Shiny Diglett is now obtainable in the wild, so good luck to you those to get your Shiny Diglets. And yeah, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let's hop on Pokemon Go Hub. We're going to go ahead and talk about Groudon, so I will see you guys there. Actually, before we get to that, I wanted to share a couple of cool things I got today, actually, guys. So as you guys already see, day one, I got 2 shinies. I got my shiny Sandshrew finally. I got this actually from an incense when I was actually catching some catching some more ground types. I ended up getting a shiny Sandshrew from an incense, and I'm pretty happy about this one because this is my first one. And literally, when the event started, I incensed the Sandshrew. I was getting off the bus, and it turned out shiny. So, in case you guys are curious about the appraisal, I'm going to show you guys right now. So, it's pretty decent, but it has 15 attacks, so pretty stoked about that. And then, in addition to that, I also have shiny Diglett. Day one, found this. I was luring up, and I did a few Groudon raids with some of my friends there. No shiny Groudon, but it's all good because I already have 3 from when it was previously out for the 2 weeks. So shiny Diglett looks pretty cool. Its nose is blue, which is kind of funny. I actually didn't appraise it. Actually, let me check it out real quick. Strong HP impressive. Okay, that's not too bad. But just wanted to share this with you real quick. And then in addition, I got a 96% Groudon, 2338. Which we're gonna talk about Groudon right about now. So just wanted to share this with you guys real quick. So I will see you guys on Go Hub. Okay, so here we are on Pokemon Go Hub, and today we're going to be going over Groudon here in this video. So Groudon is back for the 5th time. I believe this is the 5th time. I could be wrong. Definitely let me know if you got. Definitely know if I'm mistaken on that. But I know Groudon's been back for quite a couple times now. So this is just a fresh reminder. And Groudon's not gonna be around for too long. It's only gonna be around until May 2nd. So yeah. So Groudon's Raid Ball CP now is 54,411, much higher than it was before. When it was here before, it was at 49,000 around there. So now it's up there. But the 100% IV still is the same. So in case you guys are curious, 100% IV is going to be 2351. That's without a weather boost. And if you have sunny weather, you'll be looking for 2939. So 2351 with no weather boost, and 2939 for a weather boosted 100% Groudon. So it looks like Groudon can be duoed between the weather boosted level 40 Pokemon. So interestingly enough, so it has to be weather boosted level 40. So I'm gonna have to look into that on my own time. But you guys will be seeing a challenge pretty soon for Groudon, so stay tuned for that. So anyways, let's go ahead and go into the counter. But before we get into the counters, let's take a look at Groudon's moves. So let's go into that. So the following moves it gets here is as follows. Quick moves, it gets Dragon Tail and Much Shot. And then charge moves, it gets Fire Blast, Solar Beam, and Earthquake. So basically, the best counters you want to use is going to very well depend on what the charge move Groudon is going to have. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the following counters is the best counters as follows. So Kyogre is the overall. Kyogre and Gyarados are the top two bet counters against Groudon. Kyogre has more DPS than Gyarados, but Gyarados does have that flying, so will help against Earthquake. It will survive longer than Kyogre, but Kyogre will have more offensive pressure for sure. Um, Both of these are good against Earthquake and Fire Blast. Kyogre will be taking super effective damage from Solar Beam being a water type, so definitely I would avoid using Kyogre if it's against Solar Beam. Otherwise, Kyogre is going to be fantastic, and Gyarados all around is just going to be really good. Probably your best one, honestly. Taking 50% less damage from the Earthquake being a flying type, and also resisting Fire Blast and neutral to Solar Beam. So Gyarados is definitely a Pokemon you definitely want to have some as well at your disposal for sure. And then also for Alligator with Waterfall Hydro Cannon is a viable choice as well. But again, just like Kyogre, if it has Solar Beam, just be careful. So other than that, it's not that bad. Then we have Mewtwo with Psycho Cut, Ice Orb Confusion, and then we have Ice Beam. Ice Beam will be super effective on it. Mewtwo will be neutral to the Solar Beam, to every one of Groudon's moves. So just so you guys know there. So now let's go ahead and talk. We're gonna go into the grass types. Now these Pokemon are gonna be really good here because these Pokemon will be good if Groudon has Solar Beam. If it has Fire Blast, I would advise you not use these Pokemon. So these are Pokemon you can use against Solar Beam Groudon. So Venusaur with Flying Whip and Frenzy Plant is gonna be good. Roserade with Razor Leaf and Grass Knot. I guess they didn't list the Grass Knot here, but Roserade with Razor Leaf and Grass Knot is gonna be really good. If you don't have Grass Knot, Solar Beam is also not a bad choice either. Grass Knot is just better because you get more damage, more hits in with it. So ideally, that's what you want. And then next up, and then just have to watch out for Fire Blast with these two. Same goes for Weavile. Weavile's also a good choice here. Ice Shard, Avalanche. It does get one shot by Fire Blast, and it is a bit of a glass cannon, so keep that in mind. But other than that, Weavile's not a bad choice either, so keep that in mind here. Now we're gonna go ahead and go into some other counters here that are also gonna do well against Groudon. So we have Breloom with Bullet Seed and Grass Knot. Wait to Fire Blast, so keep that in mind. Resisting Earthquake and Solar Beam. Alolan Exeggutor is gonna come through pretty nicely. Bullet Seed and Solar Beam. It takes 50% less damage from the Solar Beam being a Grass and Dragon type, so really good choice there. And also resist not Fire Blast. It resists Earthquake, and it's actually the only Grass type currently in the game. Actually, no, it's not. There's another one. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. It's one of the Grass types is actually neutral to Fire Blast, so if Groudon has Fire Blast, Alolan Exeggutor can actually do pretty well against it. But however, if the Groudon has Dragon Tail Solar Beam, then Dragon Tail is going to actually do quite a bit of damage to you. It's going to be super effective on your Alolan Exeggutor. So do watch out for the Dragon Tail if you do use Alolan Exeggutor. Otherwise, if it has Mudshot, you're going to be in a fantastic position there. Sceptile with Bullet Seed and Frenzy Plant is also good. Again, they didn't list here because I guess they didn't update these. But Bullet Seed and Frenzy Plant Sceptile is going to be really good. Leaf Blade is good as well. If you don't have Frenzy Plant, Leaf Blade will do just as well. Then we have Victory Bell with Razor Leaf and Leaf Blade. Also not a bad choice either. For these two, you have to watch out for Fire Blast. And Sceptile and Victory Bell are both bit of a glass cannon, so do keep that in mind. Though against Solar Beam, Victory Bell being a grass and poison type will take 50% less damage from the Solar Beam being grass and poison. So Victory Bell will be able to survive slightly longer than Sceptile in that situation. And Victory Bell, however, is not resisting Earthquake being a poison type. So grass poison, so it's neutral. So keep that in mind. Next up, we have here is Floatzel with Water Gun Hydro Pump. Not a bad choice. Again, you have to watch out for Solar Beam. Shiftry with Razor Leaf, Leaf Blade, not a bad choice at all. Torterra is an interesting choice with Razor Leaf and Solar Beam. Torterra, however, it does not resist Solar Beam because it is part ground, so do keep that in mind. So if you do use Torterra, keep in mind that you're not going to be resisting Solar Beam. You're going to be neutral, so Solar Beam might take you out, or if it doesn't take you out, it will probably leave you in the red, so you can at least get off hits. Solomon's actually makes a solid choice here with Dragon Tail and Hydro Pump. It is actually not a bad choice at all, actually, because it takes 50% less damage from both Earthquake and Solar Beam, being a Dragon and Flying type, and also takes reduced damage from Fire Blast as well. Same goes for Rayquaza, which we're going to most likely get that to in a second. Actually, it doesn't list Rayquaza, but Rayquaza is not a bad choice, but The only reason why it's not on here and Salamence is because Salamence gets access to Hydro Pump, which is super effective on Groudon, so do keep that in mind. Um, so if you have Salamence that has Hydro Pump, also not only Salamence, but Palkia actually is not a bad choice either. Palkia with Dragon Tail and Hydro Pump is also not a bad choice either. It takes 50% less damage from the Fire Blast. Is neutral to Earthquake and is neutral to Solar Beam, however. So Salamence is actually a little bit better than Palkia there. But Palkia is not a bad choice, especially if Groudon has Fire Blast. You'll be taking 50% less damage from that. Just have to watch out for the Dragon Tail. For pretty much the dragons, if that's all you have you work with, you have Salamence. Dragonite is a decent choice as well, but you just have to watch out for Dragon Tail. But Salamence, Dragonite, and Rayquaza, all three of those take 50% less damage from Solar Beam and Earthquake, being Dragon Flying type, and they resist the Fire Blast as well, being part Dragon. So keep that in mind there. And then finally we have Exeggutor with Bullet Seed and Solar Beam as well. So those are some good choices there. So just have to watch out for what moves it recommends. But ideally, it shouldn't be too difficult to identify the movesets, because usually when I do Groudon raids, it usually recommends grass types. So this way, if I see my grass types, that means it has Solar Beam for the most part. Sometimes, another good counter I forgot to mention, guys. Another solid counter is against Groudon is actually going to be Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh with the Extra Sensory and Solar Beam, because Ho-Oh, if I'm not mistaken, is neutral to Earthquake because, well, I think it's going to be take reduced damage because it's part flying. It resists the Fire Blast and takes 50% less damage from Solar Beam. So Ho-Oh is not a bad choice either. Just keep in mind it's not going to be the most damaging, most DPS outputting Pokemon, but it's still going to do pretty well in that regards as well. So do keep that in mind. Ho-Oh is not a bad choice at all for the most part. But ideally, Pokemon-wise, you definitely want to consider using Pokemon like... I mean, if you don't have them, those are just some other alternative counters you can use against Groudon. So, Kyogre with Waterfall Hydro Pump, Gyarados Waterfall Hydro Pump, for Alligator with Waterfall Hydro Cannon. If you don't have Hydro Cannon, it's not going to be that great. You can still rock out Hydro Pump or Ice Beam. It's just not going to be doing as much... It's not going to be doing as well at all, actually. Mewtwo with Psycho Cut, Ice Beam, or Confusion. I like Psycho Cut, personally, because it gets me my energy much faster. I like that a lot more. I mean, Confusion's not too bad. It does more damage. But I like Psycho Cut because at least it gets my energy up a little bit more faster than Confusion. So, Confusion just does more damage. And then, if Groudon has Solar Beam, then Venusaur, we're fine with Frenzy Plant, will be good. Roserade, Resolute, and Grass Knot will be good. Weavile's not bad either. Just watch out. I think it's a bit of a glass cannon, but it can still put in some damage for sure. And then these are just some other counters you can use against Groudon. If you guys don't have the top contender Pokemon, then these are just some alternate Pokemon you can use as well that can actually work out pretty well against Groudon. So, anyways, and I think Salamence is a really good mention here because Salamence does have Hydro Pump, which can hit Groudon super effectively, and takes 50% less damage from the Earthquake and from the Solar Beam, and resisting Fire Blast. So Salamence is definitely a great choice there because of that. So yeah, so there you have it, guys. That's gonna be it for this analysis on Groudon. Didn't want to go into too much detail, but I figured for those of you who are going for your first Groudon, this is a good way to prepare. So with that, I'm gonna get out of here. I should hopefully have a challenge against Groudon done hopefully by Wednesday. It should be up hopefully Wednesday if all goes well. We'll see what happens. So other than that, I'm pretty excited to take on this beast. If you guys haven't seen my Kyogre duo, I'll have that link. I'll have the link to that video in the description because that was an intense challenge. It took us multiple tries to get it done, but we were able to do it. So spoiler alert. But anyways, that's gonna be it, guys. Groudon's gonna be a tough challenge, and I'm really excited for it, as well as some of the other raid bosses that are in here as well. So really excited. So with that, I'm out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, and comment if you guys enjoyed. Good luck with the Groudons. Oh, and by the way, guys, Groudon can be shiny, so if you get a shiny, pine up it because it's 100% catch rate. So keep that in mind. So with that, I'm out of here. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time.